I know I'm not alone in this. I've played Minecraft 1,000 times and it always kinda goes the same. You get materials, find a place to live, fight the dragon, but then you ask yourself the same question. What do I do now? But imagine a version of Minecraft with almost endless areas to explore, new structures, crazy bosses, and whatever that is. This is better Minecraft, and like the name implies, it's Minecraft, but better. I'm going to take 100 days to find as many new biomes and dimensions as I can, battle new mobs I've never seen before, and of course, get materials, find a place to live, and kill the dragon, but with some twists. I cannot wait to show you how crazy it gets. But first, this video took me over 100 hours to make, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button so I can keep on making videos just like this. Now let's get started as I play my way through 100 days of better Minecraft. After coming up with a super creative and original name, we created Tan's World and loaded in for our first official day, which was technically day 0. My PC struggled for a hot minute, but once I loaded in, I had spawned in a birch-style forest and was really excited to look around. I was given a quest book in my inventory, so I skimmed through that and it rewarded me with 3 pieces of bread. There was also this huge dojo-looking thing in front of me, which I obviously couldn't avoid, so I headed right for it. Now there is a ton of new animals and mobs that I am completely unaware of, so when I watched back this footage and saw I caught the attention of a snake, it made me a little uneasy. After I got closer to the dojo, I was greeted by this super welcoming baby zombie villager, and I have no idea what its parents are feeding it because my god was this thing strong. I had no weapons and armor, and it only took 2 taps of its iron hoe to get me down to 1 heart. Stop chasing me! Stop chasing me! Stop chasing me! So that was a depressing run. Good thing it isn't hardcore. Very embarrassed to say that I died literally within the first 5 minutes of starting this world. This might be a tad more challenging than I originally thought. I respawned and needed to get better prepared, so I figured that punching some trees and grabbing wood was a super Minecrafty thing to do, so I did that and left some floating trees along the way, but don't worry, that won't last long. There is an insane amount of craftable items, but I got the necessities and went on to grab some stone. I wanted to go straight back and see if I had dropped anything when I died, but first I was approached by a bigger zombie villager, and this dude also had like a speed 27 boost for some reason. I got out of there real quick, but it caught up and I almost died again. And it was here where I got my very first mob kill of the game. These dudes really care about their crops, because on the way back to my body I was bombarded by another 3 villagers. I took them out, then headed over to their crops to aggressively destroy them as it felt like the right thing to do. Also, I was hungry. I made some bread, chomped on that before clicking on my gravestone. When I did, it actually disappeared and gave me the loot that I had on me when I died. This was super vital as, spoiler alert, that wouldn't be my first and only death. It was already getting dark, so I needed to find a safe spot and potentially get a bed. I was chased by more zombie villagers who are literally so obsessed with me. This time I kept on running and was too afraid to look back. Just through this flower forest, I spotted a village which hopefully would be a safe haven. In this mod pack though, I have no idea what to expect. I kept running and oh, for the love of... This is just getting ridiculous now. I finally made it inside of this house, and this is what would bring me to the end of a very hectic day 0. I woke up on day 1, looked out my window and saw that the villagers were doing me a solid and taking care of the remaining hostile mobs. This was actually a super pretty village located in a flower forest. After looking around, I came across a waystone, which I was thrilled about because these allow you to teleport if you find another one. They are really handy for getting around and it's gonna make life much easier. I once more went with something super creative and named it First Village. I located their bell and borrowed it, which I will do for every village I find. I'm curious to see how many bells we end up with by the end of the 100 days. If you want to take a guess at how many bells we find, make sure you leave a comment below now and let me know what you think. After looting the village and taking all their valuables, I came across this bounty board, which was actually pretty cool. I guess if you kill these mobs you get rewards. I wasn't fully ready to risk my life yet though. I collected some more wood and sadly won't be able to leave any more floating trees. I think if you use an axe on one piece, it chops down the whole thing, which will be efficient because wood is an annoying thing to get. My inventory was filling up quick, so I moved into this small house and started dumping everything out that I did not need. I also finished the last quest in my book, which gave me a charm of life. I had no idea what it did, but I equipped it and it was actually super cute. I hoped I would never lose it. Now that I was set up in my new house, I was ready for a new day. Tyoma Zortman the cleric decided to have a sleepover but didn't want to trade me anything good, which was a scam. So I left to go check out the structures that were up on the mountain. I found my first piece of coal and also made some new friends. The pillagers started shooting me though, and you know that charm of life necklace that I wanted to keep forever? I guess it acted as a totem because it exploded and then disappeared. Well, that lasted a good 3 minutes. I ran down the hill to find another weird tower structure that had a spawner in it. I obviously didn't want any other mobs spawning, so I destroyed it as fast as I could. I killed a pillager who dropped silver, however I'm not sure what you make with it though. I also found this weird thing, and I didn't know what it was, so I killed it, and it didn't drop anything. I was really curious to see what was inside of the dojo, so I went down the side and mined through. Just me and all my god armor and weapons ready to take on this place. Okay, so I had literally nothing, but I was hoping that I could find some good loot inside, as long as I could get out safely. I killed a couple of poisonous spiders and then was chased by this spider dude. It sounded like a skeleton though, and I realized it was actually a wither skeleton in disguise. It had an enchanted diamond sword and I was really hoping it would drop it. It sadly didn't, but I saw a chest, I broke it, and I got the heck out of there. On my way home, I came across a ruined portal, which would probably be the one I use to fix up and go to the nether when I'm ready. It was getting to be nighttime, so I placed down my bed and went to sleep. I finally checked what I got from the dojo chest. It was mostly junk, but I got some leggings, which would do for now. I opened up the map and saw the option to teleport, but it didn't work, so I set a marker and headed home. Oh look, a duck. I explored the south of the village and found some wildlife. Whoa, I didn't know chickens could swim. I found a bridge that led to nowhere and also found a zombie villager spawner. No thank you. I broke it and collected the XP as compensation for the PTSD they've caused me. Then I saw a bear, again, no thank you, and ended up at this giant mansion. I headed up to it before noticing it was surrounded by pillagers and thought today didn't seem like a good day to die again. By that point, it was already getting dark, so it was sleep time. I woke up, went swimming, almost drowned, but found my first piece of raw iron in an underwater cave. There was also some iron in this little water well, which was nice. I would need way more iron though, so I figured it was probably time to take out the iron golem. I was worried that some of the warrior villagers would get mad at me for attacking him, but luckily it was all good. Ooh, it also had a second bell that I missed. I'll take that. I went back home and crafted this hammer thinking it would help me mine multiple blocks at once, but soon came to figure out that it was not that type of hammer. I made a couple of other tools that I didn't have and darkness came rather quickly today. I cleansed the village of all its wheat so I can make some bread. I'm not sure why that was my go-to food choice, but here we are. I went to go see if I could find any iron on the surface and came across that strange noise again. Oh, it was a snail. That makes sense. I was also hearing villager noises coming from the wheat farm and noticed that a bunch of them were stuck in this hole. Well deserved, I think. I hit one of them for funsies and decided I'd try to go mining and find some more materials. I still didn't have any iron armor or tools. I mined down until I hit a cave and came across this weird green stuff which lit up when I walked on it, which was actually pretty cool. I hope it's not poisonous because I'm having way too much fun with this. I killed some mobs after almost being killed, and apparently baby zombies weren't enough because they've added baby skeletons. Great! I found some gold and at least the iron hammer could be of use. I also found a good supply of iron. This glowing bug was pretty cool. I would have killed it, but I wasn't sure what it would do, and I also had nowhere to run if it did get mad, so I had to leave it alone. I really didn't find anything else that was worth it, but the iron was a really good start. Back at the village, I saw a guard with an iron sword, so I asked him if I could borrow it. He said yes. Oh, so generous! He gave me his boots as well. I smelted all the iron and tools that I could need, and I suited up for the next day, where I would tackle the windmill. This morning, I saw a new villager profession, which was a beekeeper. I made my first trade, giving up dandelions for emeralds. On the way to the windmill, I saw this cursed pig, so I killed it, and then I saw this cute little robin, but I killed that too. Look, I'm curious to see what all these mobs drop. Once I got closer, I thought the best way to get inside was to just bridge up and over, so I made a huge dirt tower and saw a ton of pillagers and zombie villagers were trapped, meaning it was the perfect time to go inside and hopefully not be bothered by them. For just starting out, there was some pretty good loot in here. I got a ton of iron, emeralds, gold, and some more enchanted gear. As nighttime approached, I got really nervous as I saw more mobs down below, but I built my way down and got back to the village safely. The next morning, I went looking for leather as my inventory was always overflowing and I wanted to have more room for things. I knew you could make a backpack, but I wasn't exactly sure what I needed. I knew I probably needed leather though, so I started killing cows. But then I got really mad at myself when I realized I killed all of them in this area and made them totally extinct. I was trying to figure out how to get more leather. Don't horses drop leather? No, I can't kill horses, I'm not a monster. Oh no, it looks like we're experiencing some technical difficulties. Let me just, oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Oh, look at that, I ended up with more leather. Crazy how that happened. When I got back home, I searched for ages trying to find how to craft a backpack, but I couldn't see it anywhere on the list, so I gave up. I thought maybe it wasn't appearing because I didn't have enough leather, so I went back to the deer I saw earlier, but it looks like they didn't drop any. I started collecting dirt because I wanted to get back into that dojo and see if there was any better loot. It was filled with those wither skeletons, and this one actually dropped its diamond sword. It had sharpness too, and was almost dead, but it was the first diamond thing I had, so I was thrilled. I started making my way through, but heard so many mobs it was terrifying. I found a Prot 4 book in this chest, and that was great, and some more goodies. I wasn't having much luck on this floor, so I thought on this day I would build my way up to the upper floors where I might find some better stuff. I was searching around this room when two of these wither skellies snuck up on me and I thought for sure I was going to die. I luckily got out, but that was a really close one. I then came across this huge chunk of obsidian and knew there was probably something inside, but after mining one piece with an iron pick for a while, I knew I was not going to get this thing broken anytime soon. I got my hands on my first enchantment table, and then once I finally reached the main center room, the loot was honestly quite disappointing. I didn't give up and thought for how difficult this place was to get through, there must be some goodies in here somewhere. I built up and accessed another floor, where again, didn't find anything too amazing. I finally decided I was not going to waste any more time on this place and headed home. I opened up the new book I found, then I decided I wanted to explore some more. I didn't know how far I planned to go, so I picked up the saddle I got earlier and went to get a horse. I wonder what happened to all the horses that were here earlier. They must have ran away. Weird. I managed to pick out the one that I wanted and we became best friends forever. Me and my new horse Bernie rode off into the sunset, almost died, then went to sleep. The next day, I left Bernie to go check out this small house. I knew they would stay close by because we are best friends. Wait, where are you going? It was a pretty ordinary house. Honestly so disappointed that Bernie tried to abandon me. We pulled up to this giant mushroom and it was filled with piglins. They seemed to be crossed over with mushrooms and their names were all written in some form of ancient language. I managed to kill most of them, destroy the spawner and loot the space, where I found my first diamonds. Happy with my diamonds, it was getting late, so we left to find a nice place to sleep. I forgot the mini-map in the top corner existed and the fields were really long and hard to navigate. Please forgive me. But I accidentally rode straight into lava and both Bernie and I sort of sadly burned. I was fortunate enough to have respawned, but Bernie will have to live on in our hearts. Okay, that's on him. I told him not to pick hardcore mode. I was very worried that because I died in lava my stuff would be gone skis, but when I finally returned back to the spot, my gravestone was still visible within the lava, thank goodness. I was seriously about to quit. I made my way by foot to these purple tents, which turned out to be filled with pillagers. I spent 8